Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Astro Wanderer. I'm Luana Bossetti, your host, your astrologer, intuitive guide, and really a traveler like you. You see a different background this week because I'm actually traveling. I'm currently living and working this month from Paris, Greece. I tried to put some kind of like travel background because I'm not like tech savvy to create a animated background or something. And I didn't like to use the Zoom one. Sometimes they can feel so unreal, and I wanted to keep it real. I'm traveling. I'm in this apartment right now. This is what this looks like. You might hear some noises because there are people outside that are working, but I just wanted to keep it real, guys. Like, we have so much fake out there in the world that I just want to keep it real. I'm here, I'm recording. This is my business. The like look, yes, I agree that the first things is what comes to the eye. I try to create designs that are pleasant, and thanks to my brand specialists that work with me through my website. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out at luanabossetti.com. I was able to do that, and now here I'm recording on YouTube. It's my third video. Yeah, fourth, because the first one was really about the channel, but that's what it's look like. And if you are listening to me on the podcast, in whatever platform, you don't even see this. If you want to look at me and while I'm talking to you about the topic of today, you can go on YouTube, follow me, make sure to follow and like and comment the video. Today, we're going to talk about astrocartography, the travel branch of astrology. That's why I put this, and I think it was the perfect topic for today. I'm recording this under a full moon in Sagittarius, Sagittarius being the traveler of the zodiac. My natal moon, it's in Sagittarius, as you might have heard in the previous video. If you haven't checked it out yet, go back. It's a long one, but it explains everything you need to know about your big three, your sun, moon, and rising, which are the most important placements in astrology. And today I thought, okay, what am I gonna record about? And under Sag Moon, I feel slight. I feel I want to align to my truth. I feel like expansive. And I was like, let's talk about astrocartography, which is my specialization as an astrologer. Everybody might specialize in something. Some people do it in relationship. One of my friends is doing medical astrology. I'm a traveler at heart, so I thought this could be really my fun specialization in astrology. So today I will explain you everything you need to know about astrocartography. But before we do so, I would like you to follow along if you can, if you know your birth info. So then when I explain certain things, you might be able to see it also on your chart. And if you always need more details or help, I'm here. Check my website for all the offerings. I would love and I will be honored to be able to support you on finding your way back home, because what astrology and astrocartography specifically is to helping you to find your way back home to yourself. So let's start on how you can find your astrocartography map. As I told you last week, I use astro.com. If you have been there and you registered and put your birth info, that's easier. If not, just go on astrocartography and put all your birth details. You need to know your birth date and birth location and exact time to be more accurate. If you know that, if you already did it, great. If not, pause me and go and do that now so you can little bit follow along. But I just ask you to stay open to what might come out. Maybe there are some locations that intuitively, without even looking at your astrocartography map, you feel like you're more drawn to when you travel for different purposes. But yeah, I just ask you to stay open and let's have fun together. How do we find your astrocartography map? So on astro.com, if you already inserted your birth details, then you go on the left-hand side. There are three little lines. You click on that. Sorry, you click on that, you go down to free horoscopes. Once you're there, you go down to location astrology, and then you go to Astro Click Travel. Then it lets you select like the person. Normally, it's the first one that you inserted to see the map. And then you click on Scalable Map. So you can see, you can have a full view of the what the world looks like for you. It might feel overwhelming. So if you don't want to look at that, that's totally fine as well, because what you will be presented with will be the map of the world and then a lot of different lines going from one side to the other vertically or horizontally, no, but more like a semicircle with all different colors. And there will be multiple lines. Like multiple colors repeating because that depends on the angle that I will explain you in a minute. But that's your astrocartography map. And that's with the main focus will be the point that where you were born. It will give you like a circle with a cross inside. And then you might see some other circle that will be the zenith, the most concentration of the energy that I will explain you later. For now, I want you to open this. If you want to follow this, great. If it feels like, oh my gosh, so many lines, it's too overwhelming, skip it for now. I just wanted you to have the tool to be able to enter into the software, the website, so you can find your astrocartography map. And then as we go along, I will explain you everything. So yeah, are you ready to get this started? This is one of my favorite topic ever. So if you really explore your big chart, like you know your big three now after the last video, now I want to really go deeper into the part of astrology that this really reveals where your soul feels most aligned. Because astrocartography, it's a travel branch of astrology. It actually uses your birth chart. Of course, because it's based on your birth chart, to create a personal map of the world as the one that you might are seeing right now or not, showing you all the places that support your growth, healing, purpose, and the one that might bring some challenges as well, because there's always like two sides of the spectrum. Even if you think about the places that you've traveled to, some places you might feel, oh my gosh, I want to move there immediately the moment that you land on that place. Other places are like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to come back home. Because this is like astrocartography, it's your cosmic GPS, a guide to understanding why certain place call to you, where your soul is meant to travel, why certain places are not for you. And it's really in this episode, I really want to explain to you the basics of astrocartography and how every place has an energy and every place influences your path. Um, like always, my mission is to really help you to come back home to yourself and to realize that you are not lost. You just haven't found the place. Like if you feel lost, you feel like you don't belong in this place. You are prone to travel and to go to different places. Remember, you're not lost. You're not just wandering around, just mindless. You just haven't found the place that your soul has been longing for, and might not be one place, it might be different places. Like if you're a traveler like me, you know that really there's like different places that might call you. You might live in different places. Your heart might be divided into different places. That's the beauty of traveling as well. And before we get into astrocartography, maybe you know me, maybe you don't know me, but I'm a traveler at Earth. I've never felt like quite belonging in the hometown where I grew up in the north of Italy. I've always had this voice within me saying there's something out there for you. There's something else out there for you. I never travel as a kid and teenager because my family owns a farm in the north of Italy. And as dreamy as this may sound, they were working 24/7. They never take vacations. So the first time I really went to the sea, the place that calls me most, it was when I was about 14 or 15, I think, when one of my high school friends invited me to go to the seaside with her. And I was like, yes, please, mom and dad, can I go? I really want to see the sea. Um, and that's where it was like my first travel outside of the region where I grew up. And that was amazing. I went to the seaside and I loved it. Of course, I'm a sea person. Even if I grew up in the mountains, I never felt connected to the mountains as I do to the sea, to the water. And it was also like the first point in like the first time that I realized I don't have to live in my hometown forever. This is just a phase. I'm going to high school. I will finish high school here, but then I can move. I didn't think about it before because that's all what I knew was only that part of the world. In fact, when I went to the seaside for the first time, and then the year after, I brought my mom and my sisters as well, I was like, there I found like entertainment, people in the, like it's called hotel entertainer. These are the people in resorts and hotels. They do some like kind funny things. They do kids entertainment. They do like aqua gym, aqua zumba, like sports around the pool and shows at night. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be my job. I want to do this for a living. It seems so much fun. And yeah, I did it. I did it for almost 8 to 10 years on and off. And I started as a mini club, like kids entertainer, and I went up and climbed the career ladder until I was the chief entertainment. So yeah, that's a part of me. I'm an entertainer at heart with my Sag Moon. And yeah, so yeah, that's just to give you an example. In fact, like from that, when I was 19, that's when I left Italy. I packed my bag, then I went to become an entertainer. And I was determined to find my place in this world. I really didn't feel like Italy, and especially the part of Italy where I grew up, was my place in the world. And I went on this journey of the exploration. Like for years, I searched for my home. And um, astrology helped me with that, and astrocartography as well. When I discovered astrocartography, it was like, oh my gosh, like really, now it makes sense that all the places I've traveled to, they have energies, and they brought me something like some places were magical, some places I was like, okay, I'm gonna get out of here as soon as I can. But every place helped me to grow and to come back home to myself, which is the end game, the mission and the goal behind the Astro Wanderer. So yeah, this is a little bit what is astrocartography and how can help you really as well to come back home to yourself. But before we get into the fun things about all the lines and everything, let me have a sip of water. And I also recommend you have a sip of water, a cup of tea, whatever you like to get into the fun things about astrocartography. So there are some lines. So let's do before we get into the line. Let me tell you a little bit about those lines, what they mean, because sometimes otherwise it can feel like a little bit like, I don't know, confusing, I guess. So I already told you this. So each line in astrocartography, I was looking at the map as well, so I can give you a better vision as well. So each line in astrocartography, all the one that you see through the map of the world, represents a planet. A planet that you see in the sky, the same ones that we use in astrology. And then Each line that it's a color have four different lines in the same color. This is the angles, and by angles I mean the AC, the ascendant. It's the first one that starts, as I was saying last week, your birth chart. Then we go down to the IC, the lowest point that represents the home, the roads, and then we go to the other side to the DC, that it's the ascendant represent your soul highest purpose. The DC, it's the relationship. And then we go up to the top, the highest point, which is the midheaven, the MC, that represents your purpose, your career. So each planet and each angle, they come like each planet has four lines and they represent a different area of your life. For example, your sun, that is, as we were saying last week, like the place where you feel most alive. I see the line of the IC, the roots and home, could be the best place for you to live, to really have your most authentic life. Having said that, each line is really helpful to guide you to travel with purpose. But before we get into each line and everything, I want to make a disclaimer, because this is a general interpretation, but then astrocartography is based on your birth chart. So you also need to consider that we are not going to do today which sign, like in which sign is the planet. For example, if your sun is in Leo, or if your sun is in Scorpio, it's a completely different energy. And where they fall in your chart with the aspect they have, as I always say, like beware of the one size fits all in astrology. It's not like that. Your birth chart is like your astrological DNA, so it's different, it's personal for everybody. So this is really, really important for you to know, so you don't get into the confusion of like, okay, this sun line, it's the best line for me to live my best life. Yes, and it depends on your birth chart. So let's go, because everybody's always like, I want to live my best life. So I created the first set of lines based on where you need to go to live your best life. So, some places in the world just feel like magic, just feel like you're so fun, so energized, so inspired, and fully yourself. These are the places where you can feel like, okay, I come here and I can be 100% myself. This is not a coincidence, because these lines really hold this energy, this location, like they amplify your natural energy, your joy, your vitality, and you can express yourself in this way, in these places. So this is really your lucky spots, and these are like really supportive for you if you really want to live your best life. I choose three different lines, but again, it depends on your birth chart. And so if you want a more personal reading about this, if you want to know deeper, I highly suggest you go in my website, luanabossetti.com/services, to explore my two offerings about astrocartography that I will talk further on the podcast. But let's go to the fun living my best life lines. And the first one is the sun line. Of course, this is really the spotlight where your energy shine, where you feel confident, where you feel inspired and seen. This is like really great if you want to have good health, good vitality, creative self-expression. I'm not on a sun line here, but I'm on a Paran, which is another like thing that I will not talk in this guide, because this is about basic astrocartography, but that's just so you know, it's part of my sun energy, and like I feel so inspired, joyful, and that's why I came here, because I really wanted to explore this line. And this place also, it's sun energy. So it can boost your ego a little bit if you're not really centered in who you are. So my suggestion for you, if you go on this line, it's to really ground yourself. That's why I go down to the beach, I put my feet in the sand, or find something that brings you um, in your own like center state. Let me see if I explored some sun lines. because right now, from the top of my head, I don't remember, but I know for sure I explore some sun lines. Let me see. I think when I was, no, I didn't go this way. I didn't go this way. I think, yeah, my sun line, it's not like in a place that I've explored, but I know that one place that I was suggested to go, it was Brazil. And I haven't been there. I don't feel super like drawn to that. But that could be one of the places that we'll explore in the future to see what this energy is like. But anyways, I will tell you more if I explore other areas. I don't remember any sun lines. In fact, it was not something that was relevant to me. What other lines bring out this living your best life? So your ascendant, your rising sign line. As we see last week, it's the place, it's the placement that help you to rise into what you're meant to do. It's your soul purpose. These places where you are on your ascendant line, it's really this support your personal growth into really stepping into your next level of yourself. You feel more aligned with your purpose. You feel more open, more embodied in this identity. And people might see you differently as well because of that. So this is really a good line if you want to become more who you are, if you want to tune to your purpose, and like really just be yourself and living your best life. Now I know I lived on some of my AC lines for sure. Yes, 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 I remember now. So when I was in the Canary Islands and I was working as entertainer, I actually started like my entertainment journey in Spain because previously I'd worked in France with a French company in the Canary Islands, and I spent my also my quarantine in the Canary Islands. I explore all of them, and I have a Jupiter AC line really connecting to my truth, but also spiritual awakening, coming back to your truth. That was like such a beautiful experience because I really felt like this is just a good place for me that was bringing me good energy. And during the quarantine, during the lockdown, the COVID pandemic, I really came out as a spiritual being. I really like had my dark night of the soul, if you will. Let's see if I lived on other AC lines. I don't think I did. Maybe I visited something when I was in the US. I'm trying to remember, but I don't think there was other AC lines that were like so potent for me uh, to remember. So yes, no, I don't think so. This is one. And then the last but not the least, the Jupiter line. So this is like Jupiter, the fun planet, the biggest one. So this is really the expansion line. They often bring like good luck, flow, abundance, and feeling that just like everything is alignment and you're exactly where you're meant to be. So this is Jupiter line. Just one like downside, it's really be mindful because Jupiter expands everything. So if you are hustling hard, if you are partying hard, if you are like overdoing on something, Jupiter can expand that. So make sure to be mindful. And there I was like, what I remember of the Jupiter line that I lived in Fuerteventura and the Canary Islands, I was working too much. I was partying too much. And I also felt sick. And I had to go to the hospital 3 times. So everything it touches, it expands. So I just want to be mindful for that. But that's like the Jupiter line that I lived in, and it was fun. And then I went down to Mexico, and that was fun as well. I was a little bit further from the Jupiter line, but still, it was interesting. And I have my Jupiter MC line in India, and I'm so drawn to this country. One of my best friends is Indian. I just like feel so connected with this culture. My ex-boyfriend was Indian, and I really like, I don't know, there's something that it's calling me there. And actually, now that I think, it's my MC line, so it could expand so much my career. Now I just realize, I just remember that while I'm talking to you. So maybe when I finish this, I will look to go there for a while to expand my business. But yeah, in a summary, these lines are really an invitation to shine, to thrive, to live the life your soul came here to experience. So, if you're ready to discover your lines to live your best life, make sure to go onto luanabossetti.com/services to know my readings. And let me know also in the comments on YouTube, on Spotify, or just send me a message. What are the places that really you felt this energy, like you were suddenly more yourself, you were expanded? Maybe you already know, you don't have to look at astrocartography, but maybe from your intuition, you already know that. And that will be fun to explore as well. Then what is one of the topic that everybody wants to know about? Like most of the people that come to astrology, astrocartography, or in general, most of the courses that I've taken and I've been in, and most of what people like really write books, write poetry is about love and relationship and home. So the second sets of line, it's about like finding home and relationship. And remember that home isn't just a place. It can be, yes, but it's also a feeling of belonging, feeling at ease emotionally, feeling like you are here and you are fully here. So astrocartography can really help you find that place where your heart feel at peace, when you feel like connected emotionally, and where you feel at home. So whether you are looking for love, for friendship, for a place to root, your heart can guide you back home, and astrocartography can guide you back home to yourself. So those lines that guide you back home, these are the lines that support like connection, comfort, emotional depth, and that feeling, inner feeling at home. The first one, of course, I could not like not put it first because it's the moon line, and the moon really represents emotional nourishment and comfort, represent like rest, healing, community, family. It's that deep mother energy that embrace you, what needs baby needs, and we all need. We need our own mother. We need ourselves to mother ourselves, to have this warm embrace, like that you just feel at home. You might feel supported on this line. You might feel safe. You might feel at home. These are also perfect if you want to do some deeper inner work and connection to your feminine energy, to that mother within you. These moon lines are perfect for that. Then, of course, if we're looking more into the relationship, the DC line, the descendant that I was saying before, the third point in your birth chart, the third angle, it's all about relationships. So the DC lines are strong for relationship. You might attract meaningful connection here, or even deepen partnership. So these are good places to travel to with your partner, with your friends. Then I will tell you, I will check if I went to some of these places now. I don't have a good memory, but then I have two more lines for you. The icy, if we talk about home, the place of roots, a home, emotional grounding. This is an ideal place for like settling down, for starting a family, or for also like if you are craving roots, this is a good place to go. And then the planet of love, a relationship, of course, Miss Venus. Like this is a beautiful, loving, and easeful energy. This is great for romance. Like if you're looking to call in the one, but also if you want to be the one, for self-love, for pleasure, for money, for abundance. Just watch out in here because, like, where we are in this love, we can put on the rose color glasses. So make sure to be connected with yourself in these places. Yeah, and not feel like everything is perfect, because there's no such a thing as perfection. Let me go into my chart and see if I lived on some of these lines. Well, Italy, the place where I kind of like have a love and hate relationship with it. It's in between, like very close to my moon line. But one place that really I felt at home was my first place that I travel for like work and for an exchange project. When I was 18 years old, it was the fourth year of high school in Italy. We have 5 years. I was selected to do an exchange program, and I was supposed to go to Germany, but then last minute things changed. Coincidence? I don't think so. I went to Cannes, France, in the Côte d'Azur. It's when I really like connecting and felt so much at home. I really love that place. It brought out like myself. I felt like so grounded. It's the first time that I really felt like so peaceful. I was working, yes, but I love the place I work, the people I work with. I was there for a month, and it was the best month of my life at that point. And I really feel that good energy toward that part of France, that southern part of France. So I'm thinking to also see this place there, to go and visit. But yeah, that's definitely a place where I lived and I really loved it. And also going up to Amsterdam, like really that place was really nice for me to explore. And I'm checking because I'm going to Belgium soon. Okay, that's interesting because it's very close to like the area of Belgium, and it's also passing through Düsseldorf, Germany. Which is the first place I visit with school. We went it in the third year of high school. It was the first trip and the first flight I've ever taken was to Düsseldorf, Germany. And again, it was like a 5 days, I believe, exchange program trip. So that's interesting. That's definitely very interesting. And I know there are some moonlights in Puerto Rico because I remember when I went there. Let me see, other moonlight. When I went there, it was when I healed from the breakup, and I really wanted to go there. Oh no, that was not, that was an Neptune line, but same. I'm looking. You have some moonlights in the United States. I don't think places I visit Denver. Yeah. Okay. Colorado felt like okay, for me, not the best place, but it was my DC line. So makes sense now, my DC line, because I went there with my host family when I was an au pair, and that felt like a good place to connect with them as well. There are DC lines and IC line that I've lived on. I'm looking at the United States because I have a lot of lines there. Yeah, I have DC lines like around like the area of Washington, D.C., which I went there to visit a friend, and it was a very nice trip. And so makes sense. Yeah, I remember now when I went to New Orleans last year. I went because it was a DC North Node line, so it helped me really connect sorry, with my purpose. So this was a really good line. I didn't really like the city per se, and it was not a place where I would go or live, but I connected to like the witchy part of myself, that it's like I'm a witch at heart. And I bought my first pendulum there, and I just felt like connected to that area a little bit. And then, of course, oh yeah, why I was mentioning Puerto Rico because I have two DC lines there. And the one that I visited is the DC Neptune line that really helped me to heal the breakup and relationship. So that was really helpful for me. That's why I remember like Puerto Rico as DC line. Um, and then let's see if I visit another DC lines. Well, I have DC lines in Europe around like Spain, but I've never been to these like precise places in Spain, I think, or the UK that I haven't visited. I'm looking at Europe if I visit other DC lines. Well, in the south of Italy, I have near Bari, which is a place that I really like. Puglia felt so nourishing. I have a DC Mercury line and I connected with people, that's true. And I really like it. I like when I was in the US at Disney, two of the people that I connected with most were from Bari. So makes sense. But anyways, this is a little bit about these lines. Let me see if Venus lines. I don't remember going to Venus lines. Not in Europe. I went to Turkey, but it was a different part. The US. Venus line. I have a Venus line. Well, it's like more up Canada and going down to Venezuela that I don't think I've been. I would like to go. Yeah, why not? But then Indonesia, Philippines, places that I really want to go. But oh yeah, now I've seen Thailand also. It's a place that it was good for me. That really helped me reconnect. And I have a moon line and a sea line passing there, so definitely a good place. But yeah, definitely the ones that connected with me more were Puerto Rico and New Orleans, and definitely like that part of France. That was my first connection to that line. But yeah, anyways, like if you ever felt like a deep emotional pull towards a place where you felt like really at home, that must have been in one of these lines as well. So if you want to discover why, you know what to do. Go on my website. Last but not least, the third set of lines that I want to explore today. It's work and career, another topic that people always want to talk about. And there are some places that just like light your purpose and drive where you feel more aligned. And when your work flows is just different, they support what you're here to be in this world, whether it's your career or it's your purpose. And this line, I think I use three lines because they help you like really do something that matters. So Mercury lines, of course, because Mercury is the planet of communication, the planet of learning, writing, networking. So this is really good places where you can go if you want to study, if you want to be mentally stimulated, if you want to do some creative work, if you want to be more curious, busy, in that way, like if you want to network, meet people, these are good lines to go for your career. Then of course the career line, the meet heaven. So this is really good for visibility, for ambition, for really building your business if that's something that you would like to do. It's good to focus on your goals, on leadership, and also the impact you're here to make. Mid-heaven lines are really good. And then Mars line, because Mars is the planet of energy, motivation, drive. So this is really helpful to get things done, take action. Just here, be careful to balance like work-life balance because Mars could move fast and you can really work, work, work and not rest and then messing up that. So these are the lines, and that's some career lines. I have to explore India. Like really, this is like a huge. It's my expansion of career, so I really have to go there. But one of the lines for me, Mercury lines, it's New York. For me, it's a place where I studied a lot. Like when I was there as an au pair for a year, I studied creative writing. That's when I really went into writing. I went to two different universities there. I applied to university and I got accepted into one of the American community college there in New York. But then for other reason, I could not go. But that's where I connected to so many people. When I get there, I just can stay in one of the parks, Bryant Park, Central Park, and just write for hours. Like New York, it's like it mentally stimulates me. And last year when I went back with one friend, I felt that energy. And I was like, if I want to write a book again in the future, I would go to New York for sure. Other lines, I don't think I have another lines in the US about this. MC, I have a Mars line, but I don't think I've been to that place. Alabama. Well, Chicago, but it's further on. And I felt like really good in Chicago. I didn't feel that Mars energy, but also because I didn't stay that long. So probably it's that because Mars lines can sometimes feel intense. In Europe, I definitely felt a Mars life when I was like more in England. I couldn't stay there for so much because then I was burning out in a way. Some other MC lines. India is coming up again, what the universe is telling me. But yeah, these are my experience with the with this set of lines. But whether you're just like starting out in your career, seeking growth, or ready like to leave this legacy in this world, these lines can really support in your journey. So astrocartography, it's really like your cosmic GPS, as I like to say, because it's a map that helps you to like to live, travel with purpose. That's what really shifted for me when I discovered astrocartography, that I could really travel with purpose. Each place has this unique energy that can help you. And I really wanted to talk about this because it's one of my favorite topics. It's one of my specialization, and also, I wrote for you a guide, a free guide that you can find on my website. If you go on luanabossetti.com/resources, it's free. You can download it. You have everything that I've talked about there, and you can explore. You can really explore how you can find your way home back to yourself just by starting and reading that powerful guide. If then you like the guide and you really want to dive deeper into astrocartography, I got you. I have two amazing offerings for you. The first one being a mini astrocartography reading. This is really if you want to like dive a little bit into this, like it's if you really want to discover the best like locations for you, and if you really want to have a quick insight into like where your energy thrives, we can choose one topic, one area of your life in this reading. We can go deeper into that and find the best places for you on your like area of your life, understand how these places affect your energy, and really help you to have some guidance to relocate or to travel with intention and purpose. This is a 30-minute session. And it's for you if you really want to move and travel with purpose. And if you have never done an astrocartography reading before, it can feel overwhelming to have a full one. So I would definitely suggest you to start with this one. If you're familiar with astrocartography instead, and if you want to have the real deal, the really life path session with me, you can book the full astrocartography reading. This is really an in-depth reading where we will really find all the places where you feel at home, the places that supports your growth, your creativity, your relationship. We explore like three locations or three life themes. For example, you want to know your career, your home, and your love. That's where we can explore. And this is really like helps you if you want to move with clarity and if you are ready to align back to yourself and to the place that your soul is drawn to. And if you really want to know why as well, some places are calling you. This is a 60-minute session. And this is really like where we go deeper into what astrocartography is. So I hope this episode was helpful. Let me know in the comments and send me an email. You have all the links that I mentioned, everything in the show notes as well. Let me know how this landed for you. And I really hope that this episode sparks some interest into astrocartography, because this is really the aligned map that guides you back home to yourself. So every Wednesday, a new episode. I'm not going to tell you what the next episode will be next week because I don't know. I will go with the flow, but I hope you like this and see you next time. Peace and love. Ciao.